Kendo Podcast by Hiro Mafuji from Kendo-Guide.com. Thank you for listening. This podcast is about Japanese martial arts Kendo for Kendo lovers and supported by Kendo enthusiasts through Patreon.com. Thank you for your support, guys. Please visit Kendo-Guide.com for more Kendo information and how to support Kendo-Guide.com. This podcast is 5th podcast episode, and in this episode I would like to talk about things that 8th dans are expected. Okay, this is actually an interview article from Kendo Nippon Magazine 2016 March issue, which is number 481 and page 98. It is titled The Things That 8th Dans Are Expected. And this interview is by Koichi Edo sensei. He interviews Azumori Toyomura sensei, 8th Dan, to get some answers to questions Edo sensei has about the recent Kendo. I want to share this with you because it's really interesting and it's a part of my concern too. Of course, the Kendo he's talking about and Kendo I am talking about may be a bit different, but I have same kind of concern. Probably there are a lot of people worry about that too. So I would like to share that here with you, right? Okay. Now, Edo sensei, let me introduce Edo sensei here. Edo sensei was born in 1939, so currently 77 years old. He is very famous Kendoist in Japan. And that's because he fought in all Japan Kendo championships 9 times. And he got 2nd place once and 3rd place 3 times. So he's a real deal sensei. Okay, and he currently holds 6th Dan Renshi, and probably if he's famous and he was in all Japan championships 9 times and he did really well. And why he still holds 6th Dan, not 7th Dan, not even 8th Dan? Why is that? Okay, that's because he stopped taking his promotion exams after he got Renshi, because he considers promotion exams are for non-professionals, so they can be motivated to practice Kendo by promotion exams. That because he considers himself as a Kendo professional, and that's why he stopped taking exams. He doesn't need to encourage himself by promotion exams because he is a pro. He will study anyway. So that's why he stopped taking exams. Okay? So that's why. And his profession is Kendo, but he wasn't in the police force, but he was a professor at Kanazawa University. And he's currently an honorary professor there. So that's his profession. He studies and he researches Kendo as his profession. So it's a bit like Alex Bennett sensei. Or of course there are more senseis out there in Japan studying Kendo and researches Kendo at university. But non-Japanese professor and well known to the world, Alex Bennett sensei. Okay, so in this article, I have to introduce Azumori Toyomura sensei. He is 8th Dan and he was born in 1950 and he is currently 66 years old. So there's about 11 years difference between Edo sensei and Toyomura sensei. And he fought in the 8th Dan tournaments 11 times. And he got 2nd place once and 3rd place once. So he is a real deal sensei too. Of course, his 8th Dan is a real deal. And he is a member of the board directors at All Japan Kendo Dojo Federation Office. Okay, so like I said, in this interview this interview was about Edo Sensei worrying about the future of Kendo. So he said to him, Kendo seems to become standardized. And his actual word is modelized. I'm not too sure if that was a good English, but if you use model, if you understand what modelize is, that's good. But to me, I think he meant like standardized. To him, he sees certain pattern in recent Kendo trend. That is, okay, I'm going to explain deeper. Okay, the waza of 8th Dan has become too simple. So in training, he was talking about the, let's say, promotion exams in 8th Dan. They seem to use only men strike and debanamen and dekote, and sometimes you can see men kaishido. Okay, so that's in the 8th Dan promotion exams. Techniques they use are very limited to him. Okay, only 4 types of techniques. Like I said, only men strike or debaname, dekote, sometimes men kaishido. Very limited. And also in training, he sees 8th Dan people training. Probably, to him, probably just besides those strikes, maybe he can see kote strikes, and sometimes suryaga techniques. So only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 techniques, and this is he reckons this is very true, especially for the Kendo practitioners who hold higher rank. So if they're going to 7th Dan, the tendency is there too. Their techniques are limited. I think it's because, and in this episode, in this interview, he says that, of course, they don't want to fail exams, of course. They want to pass exams. So if they do something, if they do different types of techniques, they might fail. So they omit those techniques that is risky in the exams. Okay, now, having said that, Edo Sensei thinks that those who have, who become 8th Dan should be able to execute many other techniques. For example, like Tsuki, you execute Tsuki and execute Katate Men, one-handed men technique. You don't really see that kind of stuff in the promotion exams. But of course, you might see. I saw sensei, 8th Dan senseis, or not 8th Dan senseis, or old senseis do that as well. So I have seen those techniques as well, but you don't really see those techniques in Shiai and in promotion exams. I agree with that. I don't really see them either. I don't do that because I don't want to fail. I am probably in that category as well. I understand that too. Okay, so are we doing Kendo for passing exams? I hope not. I don't want to. But as myself, as a Kendo practitioner and, as a candidate for promotion exams, I don't want to do anything that might, cause me to fail exam. So, I can understand there too. But in old days, of course, many sensei used various different types of techniques. Like I said, you execute tsuki, you miss, and you just pull out your sword with one hand and then hit yokomen with one-handed strike. And a lot of sensei still uses that in training. But you don't really see those in shiai or exams. Obviously, they don't want to lose, they don't want to fail. So, and then in that, Toyomura sensei told Edo sensei, which is not true. If you do it and then you do it well, you shouldn't fail. And probably, there is no criteria for the exam saying if you execute tsuki, if applicant candidates execute tsuki, fail them. They don't say that. They don't say that at all. If they execute 100 strikes, fail them. No, they don't say that. But there's a tendency and there's a rumor as well. If you do that, you might fail. I think it's because if you miss those techniques, you will risk yourself. You will be vulnerable, so you get hit. Of course, if you miss and you get hit, you don't give good impression to the judging panels at the exam. We understand that, right? So that's why, of course, we don't do that. We shouldn't be doing it. But if you have confidence, and if you do that all the time in training, why not? That's Toyomura Sensei's point of view. Okay, and also, there's a criteria for you to pass 8th Dan exam. And there's a great translation in Kendo World Magazine, December 2011, volume 6.1 issue. The translation is done by Alex Bennett, and the criteria of 8th Dan says, 8th Dan is someone who has reached the inner secrets of Kendo, has maturity, and has attained total mastery of Kendo technique. Okay, so Edo Sensei brought it up in the interview, and Edo Sensei reckons that the Nito and Jordan skills should be included in total mastery of Kendo technique. So they can teach those people who wants to learn Jordan and Nito. And we have already lost a lot of techniques in the recent Kendo. We don't have many techniques that we used to see in the past. So if we keep losing them by not using them or by not practicing them, what kind of Kendo will be left for the next generation? We all wonder, right? That's the wonder, what we're going to have in the future. So Toyomura Sensei has the answer. He answered to this question about the total mastery of Kendo technique. Toyomura Sensei thinks that that's why we need to study Kendo kata. And he also reckons that if Shia is emphasized more and more, the traditional part of Kendo might be insufficient. Traditional Kendo will be lost. So, of course, Kendo kata is very important. And by studying Shudan well and thoroughly, he thinks Shudan is the most ideal stance against all types of stances. And he thinks that he feels like that if we polish up our Shudan skills, we should be able to deal with anyone with any stances. That's Toyomura Sensei's view. So he doesn't really think that people should study various things, but just because we have limited time, limited time, so we just study Shudan and Kendo kata, and then we should be able to go against any types of skills. And Edo Sensei replies to that answer and like this: that is what you think. Okay, to me, he sounded a bit disappointed in this answer. But, of course, it's a written language. I mean, it's in the article, I don't know what he's really sounded like, but it's just one word. Oh, that's what you think. So, I don't know. But probably he wanted more. Okay. And Toyomura Sensei says that not all the people are specialized in Kendo, like Edo Sensei, who studies and researches Kendo at university. And, most of the people, Kendo is not their work. That's true, a lot of people just have their own work and then do Kendo after work or before work, when they have time, when they make time. So it is difficult for them to study all the stances such as Nito, Joda, like that. In any fields, not only Kendo, in any fields, it is very hard to pursue whatever it is, okay? Whatever it is, not only Kendo, whatever they're doing, it's very hard to pursue that if you don't have the environment that you can financially support your life. So like Edo Sensei, he studies Kendo and researches and then, at work. So that's Kendo equals his financially supported by just doing that. And not everyone is like that. So it is, to ask people, like even 8th people, those who passed 8th exam, they have to make time to train and they don't have time to study any other stances other than Chudo. Considering such current situation, he says, Toyomura Sensei says, founding an organization to train such special instructors is important. It is I'd like to share my experience that it is true. We don't see many other techniques like we used to see nowadays. It is true. And like kote suriyage men or kote suriyage technique, you can't really see that anymore. In training, we do. Okay, in training, we do. Probably you're familiar with the term and you do practice, but you can't really see that in Shiai, especially with the, nowadays All Japan Kendo Championship becomes younger and younger. They're fast and they're really good at small techniques. Against that type of small techniques, okay, without lifting their sword, without lifting the kensaki, the tip of the sword up too much, kote suriyage technique is very hard to execute. That's why you see a lot of kaeshi waza, kote kaeshi something is as well. That's the main technique you see now. And of course, you can protect yourself as well. It is very sad, so we should keep using it. I mean, I thought I was good at kote suriyage. But nowadays it doesn't work because their strikes are really small. So this is another thing. I want you to think about this. Our techniques become smaller and smaller and faster and faster. And I think it's a good thing because, we have to study how to execute techniques effectively. However, because we can't win in Shiai or we can't pass exam because of that. Let's say kote suriyage, executing kote suriyage against kote strike, or it doesn't work anymore, and then we don't want to lose it. We should be able to practice kote suriyage something against small kote strikes as well. So that's what I think. How can we do it? And then probably we can, if we don't focus on hitting only targets when in training, okay, maybe in Shiai, if you have to win. For some people, winning Shiai is important. Like in Japan, like police officers, they train so they win in Shiai. That they are considered to be professionals, right? So they train hard every day from, in morning through night. They train Kendo all the time. They're professionals, and that's their job to polish up their skills. And also those students, if they have good result in tournaments, they can go to, they can earn scholarship maybe to go to university or to go to high school. I myself was offered from high school a full scholarship. If you do good in Shiai, that happens, right? Of course, the society tends to see only the results, but Kendo is not about that. We have to know that, right? So I want you to think about it as well. Because you can't get a point in Shiai, we shouldn't be losing many techniques. Because we can't, maybe, you have to choose. You have to practice those techniques so you can execute anytime you want. And maybe in Shiai, you lose so you can use other techniques, or you polish it up so you can just use this technique against any strikes. I think that's important as well. So we can polish up, or we can keep many techniques, and then we can pass those things to other generations as well. Okay, please share your thoughts. And this interview is like how many pages? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages long, and I made it really short. So of course, a lot more they were talking about, but that was the main topic they were talking about. Thank you for listening, and I hope you liked it, and I'll see you in the next episode.